Hey everybody, hello, hello, hello. I thought I would share with you some of my top things that were really super helpful for me after my weight loss surgery. And I still am using them. It is now 8 months since my surgery. My surgery was October 9th, 2016. My weight, about a month and a half, 2 months right before that, was 236 pounds plus. I didn't really get on the scale. All my clothes were tight, so I couldn't tell you how much it was, but it was over 236 pounds. I am 5'5". I am now 54, so I was 53 when I had the surgery. I was really wearing a size 3X, 24, and they were tight, so I know I was heavier than that. So the day of surgery, actually I started pre-op twice, 3 times, because I had a surgery date, and then due to something at work, I had to change it, and then I had another date, and then I had to change it, and then I finally got my date in October. So my pre-op, I began pre-op in September, and I was 212.8. Then the day of surgery, when they weighed me there, I was 200 even. And since then, I am now down to 132.6 pounds. What? That's so crazy. So I've lost 80.2 pounds since surgery and 103.4 pounds since my highest weight right before all the pre-ops that I had. And I also, so this is kind of one of my tips. This is one of my favorite things that I use. This is called a traveler's journal. And when you get it, it's just this cover, and it can come with these little books here on the inside. There's usually 3 of them, and I put a sticker on this one. And there's lined ones, a blank one, and then one with a grid. Then I went to the Dollar Tree, I think it was, and got this one that slides right in here perfectly. But this is my everything. This is my calendar, this is my daily stuff, my weekly stuff. This is how I track my food and my week of what I'm doing. But then in the back, I have these extra little books back here, which I have important information. So I have all of our family and friends that are like families, birthdays, and then the pink here is anniversaries, so the same thing. Then I started tracking my weight loss. Now, when I first started tracking my weight loss, I knew me. I knew me, and I knew that I would be obsessed with the scale if I got on it every day. And I also knew me from before, many attempts before, of how I know it's normal. I know our bodies are normal, that we fluctuate and we go up and down through the week. And I didn't want to be discouraged. I didn't want to have a reason to self-sabotage and mess up anything that I just went through all of that surgery for. So I only weighed myself once a week, the same day, every Sunday, because that's when I had my surgery. And I really only did it to track the weight. And I didn't do anything. I have since then, I track it a little more thoroughly. So I track what the date is, what my weight is, what I've lost since surgery, and what I've lost overall, and then what I've lost from last week to this week. And thank goodness, thank you, Lord, that I did not track that information way in the beginning, because I would have been discouraged, and I would have felt like this was failing. I would have felt disheartened. I would have been really hard on myself. I already had a big bully in the back of my head all the time. and she would have just jumped right on that bandwagon and added to it. I believe that is also why, so far, knock on wood, I haven't hit a stall, because I just get on the scale, weigh it, mark it down, and move on. I do not focus on that number. As a matter of fact, most people ask me how much I've lost, and the only thing I can say now is, I've lost over 100 pounds. But prior to that, I was like, I don't know, let me look. And I would pull this up and look in here. So I keep track. That's just kind of how I keep track. Then I, somewhere along the line, started a little bit late in tracking my measurements. So I'm doing my measurements as well, and different programs wanted to track different things, like MyFitnessPal. I don't think you can do your measurements in there, but the other one, I can't look on my phone. There it is. What's the other one? Help Me, Health Me, something me, bariatric, whatever. They can do minimal measurements, and I just wanted to have a track of what I was doing. So this is what I do. And then somewhere along the line, I decided, hey, I wanted to know how much I've actually lost altogether. So right here, what was that? After February, I made this is where I am so far, and I just keep that going. So if you don't have a way to track your numbers and your weight so that you won't focus on it and obsess with it, this is kind of a good thing. So some of my other go-to must-haves that I suggest that totally worked for me is your plates. First of all, I have a sample of my old plates and a sample of my new plates. So I'm sure a lot of you have these awesome paper plates, and this is probably what we've all been used to using when we go to potlucks and whatever. This is the Giganto American serving size paper plate that is just insane. And it's insane for anybody, whether you're overweight or not. This is insane. So they've come out with this nice little bit of a smaller one, but look at this. This one could be your charger, and this one just fits in the middle. That's probably a standard, normal, healthy person, regular eating dinner plate. I, on the other hand, invested in getting the little salad dessert. Maybe that's a salad plate. I don't know. This is what they call the dessert plate. And look, it fits in there too. But this is what I use on the go, and especially here at work, because I can use it and then toss it. However, what I have learned is this bowl, this is the smaller bowl. I think this is the 6-inch bowl. There's also an 8-inch bowl. So if you need to have a portion that's in a bowl, it's really gonna swim in this. Unless it's popcorn you can actually kind of fill here to the top, and that's a serving. And I get too full even with that serving, but these are out there that are standard that you can get anywhere and use. So these are a pretty good go-to for me. And then the little 1-pound boats, they have 2 pounds, 3 pounds, 4 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever. They're humongous. They've got some that are just humongous. But this is actually even a little too big for a portion for us, unless you're having variety that you can put in there. But if you need something that can go in the microwave and then be tossed, this is a good thing. So what I was going to share with you, this is a must. You need to downgrade your plates and serving things to dessert or even coffee type stuff. That's the size you want. You don't want, really, your portion is this big on this plate. Would that make you feel deprived? Huh? It made me feel deprived. It made me feel like I was missing something. It made me feel that I was not getting enough food. So when you just have this little bit here on this big plate, it's too much space. Your brain and your eyes don't communicate very well with your tummy. So you need to you need to, hold on one sec while I get the door. Hi, are you working or are you looking for him? And you, okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so you have to be gentle and good on yourself and get smaller portions of things so that you won't feel deprived or like you're not getting enough and things like that. So, a must. The next thing is there are plates that you can get and that you can use, like a regular little salad plate, which this is amazing because you have this lip here, and so right inside here is where the plate's circumference is. That's really where your portions should be. So look at the difference. I have this portion here on this plate. It fills up more than a quarter of the plate, right? So now you don't feel as deprived or like you're getting less than everybody. But here's the thing I learned. I don't know what it is with our brains and our bodies, but if you use a paper plate, it's really light and easy. This will, because of how light it is, this is going to already make you sort of feel like you're not getting enough. So I suggest you at least upgrade to something a little more sturdy and firm, like this little plastic plate. And look, it even fits in there. So it's even a little bit smaller. But the trick is our brains like the weight of something in our hands. It makes us feel and makes our brain register that we're getting more food. Is that crazy or what? Which is why so many people overload their paper plates, because they feel like they're not getting enough. And this way, when you do something heavier, you really are. So I suggest you getting something heavier. This is not it. This little plastic thing is really super light. So then I upgraded to my cup saucer, and it's amazing because it's heavy. Hear that? It's pretty good and it's pretty heavy, but I was annoyed by this circle right in here. However, because my portions were only 2 ounces, there's still more times than not only 2 ounces, sometimes 3, but more times 2. My portion fits right in there. That's like the amount of my portion that I have right there. Pardon me. Sorry, I'm recording. So that kind of messed with my head to have that little inside part there as my portion. But it works. It works because it's heavier along with this salad plate. But I mean, if you really want something still light but a little bit heavy, get a little wood bowl or a wood plate that gives you that distance. See, look, it's almost that same size. But then you have a parameter that you have to stop at. So my suggestion is use heavier plates, heavier bowls, even heavier cups, because that's what will register to your brain that you're getting more food. So speaking of bowls, the dollar store is amazing because sometimes they sell things 2 for $1 and some things 1, but this little bowl, cute little bowl, has a rim inside here. And this has a good amount of portions so that if you're going to put your pudding in something and you want to stir in protein powder, this is like my go-to bowl. And it's heavy, so it feels like I'm getting more. And I think everybody has seen these little crock type bowls, as well as the Pyrex bowls. These are good too. They're still a little too big for us and our portions, but this is my next reason why I have these. Because if you don't have candles or a coffee cup in your home that you like to keep warm, you need to invest in one of these. It's actually a candle warmer. Turns off and on. and you put a candle on top of here or a coffee cup. You put it on here and it's going to keep it warm, not hot, but warm. This is amazing. If you're having trouble eating your little tiny portion and it's going cold on you, it doesn't matter. If you want to use the paper bowl, look, it fits on there. And it's not going to burn it and cause a fire, but it's going to keep your food inside here warm. What? Yes, you can actually have warm food all the way through your meal if you get one of these little warmers. And this little crock thing fits on there. See, it fits just perfect, as does the Pyrex. Now, if you really want something really hot, put hot water in this one, put it on here with it on, then your food goes in this one and it kind of rests inside here. So you're getting that continual warmth of it, keeping the water warm, plus your food warm is covered by the water all the way around it. Is that amazing? Oh my gosh, once I learned that trick, whoa, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I thought that was pretty smart. The next thing that that I personally invested in that was very helpful, and I have since kind of changed a little, are my portion containers. Now, I have the Rubbermaid ones, which these are great, but when you only have 1 ounce, 2 ounces most, it pretty much just comes up about halfway. And that's okay. But that was a lot of space, and it kind of freaked me out that, oh, I was either eating too much or not enough. Again, the visual brain trying to connect. These are great. These are great, especially once you start getting up in your portion sizes. These are amazing, but they're a little expensive. So if you have a Dollar Tree or a 99-cent store or something called Daiso near you, they have these little containers. Now, they're a little bit different in shape, but they're the same size. They both actually hold 2 ounces of food. So this is the same size as the little plastic ones that you buy from the store for baby food that you can put that little plastic lid back on. This is the exact same size as that, which is amazing. So go to the dollar store. There's 4, 6, or 8 in a package. You get these. Okay, my problem was I'm on the road, I'm busy, we're active, we're all over the place. I then had to have a bag with me to keep these in and bring them home and wash them. And I don't always have access to water, so guess what was happening to these? Yeah, gross. So I went to Smart and Final. I've also been told they have them at Target, and Walmart might be right there behind it. And I know they have it at Sam's Club and Costco, things like that. But these amazing portion cups, what are just, they're so freeing. Because you can have icky stuff in here and then toss them in the trash when you're all done. And you don't have to worry about crazy science experiments happening before you have a chance to wash it out. So 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 4 ounce. They don't have a 3 ounce, so I use this and I just fill it up a little bit. But these are a lifesaver. Yes, they can be a little costly. So you kind of have to weigh really what you feel is going to be your reason for using them. Like these little ones, I put my nuts in, my cashews, and I use them over and over and over and over again. So, I mean, I use them if I don't dirty them with something gross and gunky. I use them over and over. So you can too. Okay. Another thing that I have to share with you that is a pretty good must that you need to do in order for you to have your water and drink your appropriate amount of water, if you're like me, hey, how you doing, Kevin? If you're like me, you now want your water ice cold. Go figure. I've never, ever, ever, ever liked cold water, ever, before. I still am not a super huge fan of really hot stuff, but that's getting better too. They have more warm stuff. So the thing you need to find and invest in is something really good. that will keep your cold beverages cold. These are at Costco, 2 or 3 in a package for like $20. What? Yeah. Go to Ross, go to Marshalls, Home Goods, TJ Maxx, any of those. They have them too. Even Walmart, but they don't seem to be as insulated and keep it as cold. So this one's 20 ounces, and it's the right size, and it's amazing. However, I learned if you have something hot, this is not the container for it, because then when you push this little level, it goes and it explodes in your face. You don't want that, because that hurts and it makes a mess. So you want to invest in some kind of insulated mug for your hot beverages, because we sip. Our sips are so little that it goes cold before we have a chance to actually drink it while it's still warm. And this one is amazing because it's smaller here at the bottom, larger here at the top. And this, if I accidentally pick it up like this in my car, the lid is not gonna come off. It actually takes a little bit of effort to come out of there. And I love it. I have one at work here and I have one at home because I'm going back and forth. So back to speaking of your glasses, you must find a glass, a cup, a whatever, that's fun and pretty and something that you like, but that's 8 ounces, 6 to 8 ounces, so that you can have a gauge to how much water you're drinking through the day. So I found this, again, it has these little tiny bowls that are actually smaller than this bowl that came, I don't even remember. It might have been Smart and Final and it might have been the dollar store. I don't remember, but I like it because it's a little bit textured. The lip is smooth. It doesn't feel like you're drinking over a seam. And when I fill it up like to about here, and that's 8 ounces. That's a portion. The other fun thing is get a really fancy glass. This only does 6 ounces, but it's still something that you can measure your beverages that you need to have. Okay, on to a couple of other things that I highly suggest you get. If you're having trouble with water, you need to go find this amazing stevia that is flavored. What? There's berry, lemon, chocolate, raspberry, coconut, root beer. That's right, root beer flavored sweetener. You just put 2 or 3 drops in. I put it in my tall water like this. Now I actually do about one whole dropper, which is 8 drops. But you can put 1 or 2 in a glass, stir it up, try it. And because you can't take away the sweetness, but you can always add back in. This is amazing stuff. If you have trouble drinking water, I'm telling you, this is the bomb. This is what you want. Then another really cool thing I've done, because we're all trying to watch our carbs and not have carbs, and you want to have protein, yet you want to have that little bit of crunch. There is this company called Way Better, and they make a black bean chip. And I personally, whatever the serving is humongous, 28 grams or 9 chips. What? There's no way I can eat that. I eat normally about 4 chips, 3.5, 4 chips. 10 grams is what I measure out, and I break them in 4s, and it works perfect. But they also have a sweet potato brand or flavor. So good, goes down good, and it's nice. Another one that has worked for me, and those have protein in them too. This only has 1 gram of protein, but 0 sugars. And this one is a sea salt potato, and they're called Pop Chips. And they're really good for me. They're good for me in my tummy. They go down really well. But the same thing, I only measure out 10 grams, which can be 3, 4, sometimes 6 chips, depends. I think it's about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 chips is 10 grams of this one, but those, it's 4 chips. And my other go-to thing that I have found are these amazing little rice crackers. Ooh, look at those. And what's fun about these is they're not like those. They don't break and crumble real easy. Watch or listen. They snap and they stay together. What? You can even break it into 4s. Those are my portions. This on a bite of my meat of choice, or maybe some cheese, that's a portion. Remember, our bites, especially at first, are only supposed to be the size of your pinky nail. Your pinky nail, not your whole finger, nail. So if you're eating bigger bites than that and you're not waiting in between your bites, then that's why you're getting pain in your chest and pain in your stomach and possibly even stretching out your stomach. Stop it. Don't do that anymore. The other thing you want to really take advantage of is in your phone, the timer. Put it on the stopwatch thing, press it in between bites when you've all done chewing and getting it nice and pureed before you swallow it. Press that little button and wait for at least 30 seconds. Then you can have your other bite, because if you do it too soon and you get all crazy like that, it's going against what your doctor wants you to do, and it's going against what's actually good and healthy for you. So my other helpful thing that has been useful for me are these little tiny makeup bags, because they hold that big plastic cup in here with some portions. I have beef jerky in here, and I have a little Cliff Bar in the bottom, and it pops right in your bag, and there you are. Okay, I have two more things that to me are must-haves. One of them is this amazing little thing. It is called a coffee frother, and I got it at IKEA for like $2.50. That's right. This same exact one, battery operated, just like this, looks just like this too, at Walmart and Target were both $17 to $20. $2.50. I'm telling you, IKEA, the crazy thing. You can even order this IKEA one online on Amazon, but you pay like $12 in shipping. Why? Crazy. So my last thing that I really suggest that you invest in, because we're not getting quite as much water as we were before. Our bodies are changing, so we're getting a little, not necessarily dehydrated, but all of that moisture is going to strategic places in your body, and your body, if you're like me, is feeling dry, and I've never been dry in my life. My skin, anything. I've been oily all my life. But this lotion is by Nivea, and it is called Skin Firming Hydration Body Lotion. And I got the one that was for normal skin. If they had one for dry skin, that if I could find, I would probably do that. But my bariatric nutritionist and my doctor here said to actually get a body cream, not a body lotion. And I do see why. It soaks in and spreads around differently. But hello, this is a little bit more budget friendly. This kind here, Walmart, this big old huge thing was like $10. So there you have it. Those are just a few of my things that I can't live without this. I use this every morning to whip my protein powder in my water before I add it to my tea. And no clumps, no lumps, no nothing. So this is amazing. If you can get to an IKEA or you have someone that can do it, buy it and ship it to you, I'm telling you that's a whole lot cheaper than the $17 one at the store. So there you have it. My lunchtime is over. I gotta go. But those are just some helpful things that have helped me, and I started doing most of this month one, like 2 weeks after I got home. I was tired of eating cold food that everybody else was enjoying warm, and of course they were eating super fast. And I was tired of washing these out and having to throw them away anyway, because some of them just didn't make it. So these are great for me. They're great. Have a great day. If you have any questions or you have some favorite things that you use, please share them. Please share them. Any of your must-haves. We all can benefit from knowing what works for someone and maybe works for them and not for you. Or maybe you hadn't thought of that. Oh my gosh, candle warmer, hello, keeps your food warm. So that's all I have. Have a great day, and I'm praying for you to be successful in your journey.